AskReddit asked the question, what was the most stupid way you hurt yourself? As a security guard, I was running to deal with an issue and my flashlight came out of its pouch, went between my foot and the ground, stepped on it and broke my ankle. I was 8 years old and running home on my lunch break so that I could watch Inspector Gadget, which came on at noon. I decided it would be neat to look down at my feet while I ran, and next thing I know I've run full speed into a parked car. I think I laid like a dead body on the road for a good 5 to 10 minutes, it hurt so badly. I was late for an Inspector Gadget episode and never told anyone what happened. Alright, so my sister is only 1 year older than me, and when we were very young, me 3 and her 4, we were both in the bath together. I guess my mum thought it was easier this way. She left to get something and my sister said that I should dive into the tub like a dolphin. Me being the idiot toddler I was, decided this was a wonderful idea and dove right in, had to get 3 or 4 stitches and a lifetime of stories told about it. Remember when your parents told you to tie your laces or you would hurt yourself? Well, they were right. I was the kid who ran with untied laces. I fell and instinctively put both my arms out. I landed on my right hand/arm and managed to snap my forearm and dislocate my wrist. As I had dislocated my wrist before, as I was accident prone, I attempted to pop it back in myself in panic. I can't describe the crunchy noise that my arm made or the pain I felt, and then I had to walk to the nurse's office at my school and wait for my parents to pick me up. They didn't think it was serious. At the hospital, the x-ray was a little extreme and I had to have surgery to correct my arm. 14 years later, my wrist still isn't the same and it still hurts in the cold. Life tip: tie your damn shoelaces. I tried to throw a dart into the bullseye on a dartboard that was on the floor, but threw the dart right into my left foot instead. I was finishing up this intense jigsaw puzzle, which was on a low table, so I spent the entire night crouching on the balls of my feet. The next morning my right foot turned purple and swelled up to the size of a large orange. I was on crutches for a couple of weeks. When I was 13, I was walking down the street and there was a bee that landed right under my eye. In a brilliant move, I brain farted and punched myself in the face trying to swat it away. I went to take a plate of pizza rolls out the microwave. The plate was so hot that I dropped it. Molten cheese bounced up and was burning through my ankle. I went to stick my foot in the sink to run it under cold water as if I am flexible enough to stand on one foot and get my leg up that high. I fell backwards and cracked my head like an egg. I had a 3rd degree burn on my ankle, 2nd degree burn on my fingers and 6 staples to the dome for pizza rolls at age 30. My brother was teasing me when I was doing homework. I think I was maybe 8 or 9 at the time. And after a few minutes I snapped, took my pencil and went to jab him with the eraser end, so as to not hurt him too badly and get him to shut up. To get a bit more force behind it, I decided to wrap my index finger around the other end. The end with the point. I'm sure you can guess what happened next. A lot of crying and a trip to the emergency room later. I had a pencil point being removed from my finger. Once as a child, I lit a dryer sheet on fire, thinking it would burn really fast because it's just fluff, right? Nah, it's more like plastic, and started dripping flaming molten balls on the floor. I was scared, I panicked, I shook the dryer sheet. A few molten plastic lava ball burns on my face and arms later, I now respect the laundry and leave it to my wife. Took my dad's high-powered rifle with scope out hunting without his permission when I was 15. Never having used a scoped rifle before, and with no one there to correct me, I slid the rifle butt off my shoulder and tucked it under my armpit before aiming. At the same time, I placed the rear of the scope right up against my eye, pulled the trigger. The recoil from the gun, firing, punched the metal edge of the scope right through the skin of my forehead and into my skull, just above the bridge of my nose, as clean as if it were a cookie cutter. Hurt like hell and bled. Plus I missed. And that, my children, is how Dad came to get that funny arc-shaped scar between his eyes that you've always wondered about but were afraid to ask. I was at work, very stressed and tired. There was a skateboard on the ground about 10 feet away from me. I didn't know how to skateboard beyond just being able to slowly roll around. We just kept it around to casually ride whenever we needed a break from our work. I saw the skateboard as I was pacing around, and without thinking ran over to it and jumped on. As you would expect, it went flying out under me and I slammed into the concrete floor. I just stayed there on the floor for a minute, baffled by what I had just attempted, while my hip bone throbbed from the impact. I have no idea where the impulse to do that came from, and my brain was too sluggish to stop myself before it happened. I'm so glad it didn't hurt myself more seriously, since I was the only one in the building. I was even more relieved nobody was there to see me do something so incredibly stupid. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. I will be releasing more videos shortly.